I got so tired and annoyed that I questioned the system. I was wondering how in the hell do the companies manage to still pay those salaries? Because the whole workforce is literally incapable of delivering value. I had to take a break from all of this, and that's why for over 6 months now I travel every weekend from Europe to Turkey to my grandparents' home. I hop on a plane every weekend just to order my thoughts. Every month I've learned one new thing that I'm going to share with you that once applied will help you win the office politics. But first things first, the sun is burning, so let's get the hat. Starting with the first tip, playing the game. Office politics is real and it's not about you just dealing with a few people. It's a really complex structure where you don't know until the end if you're on the winning or the losing side. So you think you have a real good relationship with a colleague and the next thing you know is he talks bad behind your back. Or you get well along with your direct manager, but still for years you don't get promoted. That's why in order to win at this game, you have to understand that there are different groups of interests. Everyone in a company serves a purpose. You can divide it into personal purposes and company purposes. Let's say you get well along with a colleague who works in controlling, and during lunch you decide to share with him some of your doubts regarding your project's financials. Then you shouldn't be surprised if the controller decides to share this information in an official meeting with other participants as well. Because although you may have a good relationship with each other, it's his company's purpose to highlight if there is any risk regarding the financials. Instead of being upset with him, just accept that this is a game and you need to play it the best. Coming to the second tip, disagree but commit. You, coming fresh out of college or just starting a fresh job, are highly motivated with fresh ideas and want to change actually something. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. Because your first day in the office, you try to make a good impression, be on time, be nice to everyone, and over the next few months you get quite well along with your colleagues and you try to level up your career. And in order to do that, you think that you need to set your marks, because in your mind you have to convince others of your knowledge, right? So you seek for these situations where you can just correct other people with your knowledge. So you say, it's not Jira, it's Jira. Or something like that, right? The pronunciation of words, just to show that you know something. You put in hours of extra work, you sometimes argue with upper management as well because you think that you're right and that your assumption of things is only the right way to go. And all of a sudden, after a few years, you find yourself stuck into the same role. But maybe the company or the people that work within the company are not ready to follow you. That's why, especially in climbing up the corporate ladder, it's really important to not disagree with upper management all the time. Of course you can disagree, but don't be that vocal about your opinion and just do it when it's absolutely necessary. And although you disagree, you should be able to commit to the task at hand as well. Because most of the times decisions will be made that are, questionable at least. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to commit to those decisions. Because managers are looking for people that can solve problems and not create new ones. They also don't need people that think they know everything better. This brings us to the third tip: don't forget who brought you to the dance. And most of the times it's your direct manager who did the hiring interview with you. We often get lost in the tasks of the daily business and forget who hired us. Because exactly that guy is the primary reason why you are still working for that company. You forget about the importance of that person and it becomes obsolete to strive for his happiness. I found especially ignoring your direct manager because you think that you are now better than him could ruin some careers. That's why never forget who brought you to the dance. Keep a good relationship with him. Because in critical situations you always need advocates to speak up for you. And of course I know it doesn't mean that if you have a good relationship that your direct manager will speak up for you, but at least you did the right thing. Your job is to set everything up to the best of your abilities and the rest will be luck. Now coming to tip number 4, don't share your personals. One thing that was hard for me to learn was to keep my mouth shut. The more I went silent, the more interesting I've got. Probably you also know the colleagues bragging about their personal life, sharing their best stories, talking about their successful children, but everyone knows it's a bluff. They're trying to suppress a reality, which is they work in a job they don't like, they work with colleagues they don't like, and they think they deserve much more in terms of income. Well, those guys usually don't get anywhere. Not only in a corporate setting, but also in general life. People don't need other people trying to outshine them on a constant basis. That's how you get disliked very fast, but the less you share about yourself, the more interesting you will get. Instead of walking actively towards people and creating the image of a needy guy that tried to make friends, just be silent, keep you calm, and they will approach you first. Let's come to tip number 5, and that's your life is worth more than just work. So a lot of us work from 9 to 5 every day. We see the same colleagues every day. We live in our small bubble. Maybe we have 1 or hobbies 2 a week and that's it. I thought also that it has to be that way. But since I come here for over 6 months now every weekend, I can say that the life of most people is really different out here. Because their lives start after work. Either if it's get-togethers with families, friends, meeting at cafes, restaurants, it's just a total different way of life. That's when I realized that my life is more than working just from 9 to 5. Although I just have an office job and plenty of hours to do different things, back in Europe I felt drained, not motivated, and I felt stuck in my life, although everything was okay. And when I came here for the first time, I saw people having much less, but they were much more happy. Sure, I won't lie to you, they are complaining a lot of as well, but they're just making fun of it. At the end of the day, they do have a social network. Walking down the street, you meet at least 20 people. You have a short chat with them, ask them about their families, ask them about their well-being. I will ask you the question, when was the last time you walked down the road and met 20 different people talking to them? This brings us to the last tip I learned over the past few months, and that's to care less. In the past, I usually stressed a lot about my job, preparing the evenings before to make sure that everything is going right, or my brainstorming sessions on the weekends just to get better results in my career. Because we think that being someone in a company means that we achieved something. But that's far from true. Back in the day, I was hospitalized, I think for 2 to 3 months or something like that, due to an infection, and I shared my room with an old man. On my first day in the morning, I opened up my laptop and started working from the hospital because I thought, yeah, okay, I'm feeling not that well, but I can work at least. The old man watched me closely working in the morning, but he didn't say a word until the evening. Then he opened up. He told me that his biggest mistake in his life was that he worked for a company and he gave it all. He tried to do everything to become a CFO over there. And he was hospitalized for over 6 months at the time, and he was just sad because no one from the company visited him. Because working in the company for over 25 years, he said he thought that he made some close friends, but being in the hospital showed him otherwise. He literally said, and it just stuck with me, so I'm going to cite him, I was so stuck. I got so caught up in the desire to get promoted to a CFO that I lost my meaningful connections. And then he turned around to me and said, because no one out here cares that I'm a CFO in a random company. To be honest guys with you, back in the day I really didn't make much out of it. I was thinking, no sir, I'm different. The company I'm working in is different. But truly, it's not. It's the same. And yeah guys, I really do hope that this video helped you to understand office politics more in detail and maybe opened your eyes that you shouldn't be so strict on yourself. Office politics is just part of our daily lives and it's a thing where most people struggle with every day. Tell me in the comments, what's your crazy story of office politics? Like and subscribe if you liked and see you in the next one. Bye.